Welcome to Are We Old? The show featuring two comedians getting nostalgic and tackling life's toughest question. Are we old? Here's your hosts, Mike Fenoya and Charles McBee.
Hey, what's up? It's the Are We Old podcast coming back at you with another stupid song that's annoying Charles. This is Mike, and I like to sing the intros to the song, to the pod.
Keep going.
I don't know. Charles is my friend, and we co-host this podcast, and it is fun because it's nostalgic, and we bitch about getting old to each other and to you.
He
you
went
hear
up
that?
an octave.
And I stayed in key.
There we go.
Hi.
What's happening?
Singing to keep from crying, my man.
Hey, listen, it's all coming from the same place.
My balls.
There you go. What's going on, old heads? Another episode of Are We Old? Yeah, man, I'm feeling good.
Yeah? Good.
Yeah, because fuck it.
Fuck it is right, dude. That's the only way to feel good.
Yeah.
Are you at the point where you're kind of like, I got no time anymore to like worry about shit, and like it's the hour. There's more sand in the bottom of the hourglass.
Yeah, I'm not, and whatever sand, even if it's like an equal amount of sand, or if there's still more sand in the top, that extra sand isn't gonna do much for me.
No. that sand is probably full of invisible bugs.
Yeah.
You can't see.
By the time I get to that sand, I'll
forget that it was called sand, dude.
I'll be getting ready to turn back into sand at that time.
I wonder if that's the sand that they used for original hourglasses was just dead bodies. Is that a morbid thought?
Probably. Drink some more coffee.
Yes. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining us in this lovely, peaceful, happy podcast. If you're enjoying it, please like and share and subscribe and rate and review. All of that stuff goes such a long way. You can find us at Are We Old? And areweoldpodcast@gmail.com is where we connect with you all. And you could send us fun questions and thoughts and stories, and we'll share them on the podcast. And we're going to be doing a lot of fun stuff over at our patreon.com/Are We Old Podcast. So thank you for all of the great comments and all of the fun interactions on the socials.
That's right.
It's fun watching people chat. It's like we've set up a cool little like hang space for people.
Yeah. I think it's good. It's just good to know sometimes that you're not the only one.
That's the whole goal of life.
Right.
I really do believe that. We stick around because we can help other people.
There you go.
You know? And that's why this podcast is, we need it right now.
Let's go.
Hey, Charles.
Yo.
Am I old?
Yes.
Okay. Whatever happened to, I'm confused about, like, are we spelling things right anymore? Are we not? Is it okay sometimes to misspell things and totally like botch grammar in a sentence, but your phone, you type a word and it just changes it for you? Like I don't know how to communicate anymore when it comes to like writing, or like you see sometimes like a caption on a Instagram like reel or whatever, and it's just like one word and it like exemplifies the whole thing, and then you go to try to write something and it changes it. Like I'm so confused by like where are we at as a society when it comes to like written communication? Like, is it over?
I'm confused by your confusion.
Are you?
No, I think I get what you mean. One,
was I just rambling?
Yeah, I was deciphering as you were going, but I think I got where you're coming from.
Watch those hands.
Hey. So you're saying like the way we communicate now with all the there's no more full sentences. Everything is like what do you call it? Where it's just text. I call it text language.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, let me try to paraphrase in case that we need to like. You know, I'm going to do a little, when I do this, I'm going like this because it'll always end up like that. growing up and you and I are both writers, okay? So I want to
Mhm.
know if this is something, and it plays into something that I hope we bring up today on our Valentine's Day episode. I took pride in my writing, okay?
Right.
I would feel shame if I gave someone a letter or if I wrote an email or something, or I felt like it was an extension of my intelligence.
Yes. Okay.
My use of commas, my use of punctuation, my capitalization, my, just everything. Like, I really gave a crap when it came to communicating with someone via the written word.
Mhm.
Obviously, texts is not that. Like, I would not apply for a job via text. I would not ask someone to marry me via text. I would not, ask for a massive favor or whatever. Like, it's just like there's certain things that you keep to a formal thing.
Right.
I don't know if I'm the only one that feels like this anymore.
Okay, now I get where you're coming
You get
from.
what I'm saying? Because it's like, and then I'm like, I just tried to text something and it uncorrected a correct spelling. And I'm just like, what the hell?
So now even text messages or your phone, because before it would correct when you would spell something incorrectly. Now you're spelling things correctly, and it's like, no, I think you meant this, to some Gen Z version
Yes.
of,
And
of spelling the word.
also it like turned a word to another word that doesn't even fit in the sentence. And it's like, listen, if you're going to be intelligent, be intelligent.
Yeah,
Brick doesn't fit in that sentence. It
Yeah,
was
but here's the thing. Here's the thing about AI. AI only learns based on our intelligence. It's copying us.
well, we're stupid then.
Exactly. So AI over time is going to become dumber.
Oh no. Really? Can I tell you what the sentence was, Charles, that I
Yeah.
texted? I canceled Geico. Okay?
Uh-huh.
And it changed Geico to Brick. And I'm like, what?
Yeah, I canceled Brick.
And I don't write Brick a ton. I'm not moving coke. You know
Right.
what I mean? Like,
Maybe I thought it was like, oh, Pablo Escobar.
it was so weird, dude. I'm
Yeah.
like, I don't even understand how the hell,
I do agree, though, with what you were saying about writing and the extension of it, because that's gone out of style. I mean, when's the last time someone actually wrote a letter? I had pen pals growing up.
You did.
Yeah, they
Where
were
did you
mostly,
meet them?
huh?
Where'd
We
you meet?
would go, well, growing up in church. We would go to camps, and we would go to like conferences and youth conventions and all that kind of stuff. So we would meet, and then we would go and make friends and stuff in the other parts of Ohio, this, that, and the third. So a lot of friends back then, in order to stay in contact, because back then long distance calling cost $1,000 a second,
And a notebook cost 10 cents.
Exactly. And if you didn't have like a calling card, which I would stack up on those, we talked about that a little bit a few episodes ago. If you didn't have a calling card, you just wrote. It wasn't weird to write a letter to your friends. And I would meet chicks. And listen, Valentine's Day, since
That's what I wanted to ask you about. Yeah.
Listen, bro, I would write letters to girls, right?
Yeah.
And I would spray the letter with some cologne, with some nice cool water cologne.
Oh man,
Baby.
and you had to mist it so it didn't screw up the
Messed
writing.
up the pen, yeah.
You want to know who I think about with that?
What?
The mailman.
He's just sniffing envelopes.
The mailman that got that letter. He's like, this dumb kid.
Hey, it worked back then, man. Listen, romance was a thing back then.
Oh, hell
Especially
yeah.
at 14 or 13.
Does
or
anybody
whatever.
remember romance? Right? You can't spray Polo Sport on a text.
No, exactly.
Dude, that's hilarious. Imagine being the dad that got the mail that day and it smells like dude cologne.
Yeah.
And it's
what
like, is my wife cheating on me?
Yeah. That was a long supper.
You're just trying to make out with his daughter and you ruin his family. He hires He hires a private investigator to follow his wife to Pilates.
Meanwhile, he reads the letter and it's just like,
Hey, do you like stuff?
hey,
Things are cool.
oh man, we were so innocent, yet we weren't.
That is so funny. That is so funny.
Yeah.
I took a lot of pride. You know, it's funny, man. I've gotten a lot of nice gifts from girlfriends over the years, like in my younger days, you know, and whatever. And I kept some letters and notes just because of like, dude, the color of the paper they chose or the color of the ink that they chose or the bubbly, newly learned cursive that they used, and just like the big bubbly A's and the I's with the circles. And man, when a girl put in the time to like dot her I with a freaking cloud, she loved you. She loved you. I would stare at that cloud and the sun would come up from behind it. There was so much love in those, man.
Yeah, man.
If a girl just like scribbled like doctor script, like was a prescription to go fuck yourself.
Draw little, I mean, it'd be little flowers and little whatnots and stuff. Oh man, it was great.
Little puppies in the corner with everything was bubbly and round and like just so like, oh my God. And then there'd be these weird little ever have a girl that like she'd write like sub thoughts that were like while she's writing the note, she'd be like, do you want to get together this weekend? Like over in the corner. And
it was corner, like, it was always on the side somewhere.
Yeah, crammed into the corner. And it's like, yo, she can't even keep her thoughts together. That's how much she likes me.
At the bottom of the page, it'd be more a turn over or more on the other side or some
arrow.
Yeah. So
there's more, dude.
Yeah.
Her love is not contained on one side of a piece of notebook paper.
And
then when you'd open up your locker and you'd get that note.
Yeah,
dude, because we had vents in our lockers, you know what I mean? Them dumb little things. And sometimes you'd see the little piece of a paper sticking out from underneath it, and you're like, oh, did she leave me a note?
That's right.
Oh, and you'd get that note and it would just brighten your day.
Yeah, or break your heart.
Your heart. Yeah. Yeah. Or sometimes it was for your neighbor.
Wrong locker.
Get the wrong locker, and that was always fun.
That's always fun. Now you're the mailman. Hey Jerry, I think you
Hey, I'm so sorry to do this. It's not you, it's me. I mean, it's her.
Oh man. Yeah,
that's
man.
funny.
Speaking of cursive, that's a lost art form. Can you remember when we spent freaking an entire year in second grade or first grade or whatever it was trying to learn this ancient script?
Bro, cursive is our dead language.
Yeah,
literally, like
language. Yeah,
cursive might as well be. I bet you in our lifetime they're gonna see cursive on the walls of elementary schools and be like we look at like drawings of bears and cavemen and shit.
It'd be like, what the hell is going on?
I remember that weird Q that looks like a Q.
Remember chicken scratch? It looks like chicken scratch. Your teacher would tell you, this is chicken scratch. Now this is all we write is in chicken scratch.
Yeah.
We would have to, it takes so much time learning how to spell our name and write our name in cursive so it didn't look like chicken scratch. The only people that were able to write in chicken scratch were doctors.
And they're the ones that now are like writing all of our prescriptions.
Right.
Yeah. Yep. Dude, can I tell you? I remember the anxiety I would feel when I would see the cursive paper. Do you remember there was specific paper that had more lines than normal?
Oh, yeah.
So there was like the line that you had to write in, but then there were littler lines that was like, oh, you got to start turning when you get to this so you don't it doesn't go over. And then you have to stay. So everything needed to stay within the lines. But then there were some letters that like, oh, you could dip below. And all that paper gave me such freaking anxiety, dude. That was like a driving test for a 7-year-old.
Bro, my handwriting has always been terrible. Always. I
could pull it together when I need to.
It would take me days to write for my handwriting to be like, oh, this is nice handwriting. I would have to go so slow. There would be so many drafts of a paragraph. Like it was just, I don't know what it is. But I would think too. In mid, you know how you do a joke for anybody out there. This is inside baseball. You're like, oh my god, this premise is brilliant. This punchline is going to kill, and then it's not until after you deliver it, you're like, well, that was terrible.
Oh no, I have no idea what you're talking about, Charles.
Yeah, right. Of course not. Oh no. Only I experienced that last night. No,
It's part of comedy.
yeah, I would be like, oh, this is actually I'm cooking, and then it wouldn't be till I was done, or somebody else will, or I would compare it to someone who actually had decent handwriting, usually a girl, and I'd be like, well, I can't, I can't do this.
No, dude, I'm like you. I was horrible. I'm left-handed as well. So what I would do is smudge everything that I wrote. I want to hear from you left-handers out there. areweoldpodcast@gmail.com. Would you smudge everything that you wrote? Because I literally, dude, your hand, when you're left-handed, the meat of your palm is essentially an eraser.
Yeah.
Like if you wrote in pencil, you would just smudge everything along the paper. So you had to learn how to like cautiously write from like up above, like some weird, like what I need, a feather pen and a quill, dude. It was brutal.
Now,
and I mean,
left-handers, explain this to me. At what point do you all? I mean, it's genetic. I mean, it's just what it is, right? It's not like
born like that. I mean, I mean, I don't want to interrupt your question, but what I'll tell you is, you're always taught as a left-hander to try the other way. You know what I'm saying? So people go like, oh, wait a minute, like, can you just hold the pencil in the other hand? And it's like, I wish I had one near me, but it's like, you grab a pencil. Dude, it happened to me with guitar. I got a guitar when I was little. Like we rented a guitar to see if I liked it or not. And it was a right-handed guitar. And I immediately picked it up left-handed. And they're like, no, you're holding it the wrong way. And I'm like, no, the guitar's broke. Like,
yeah, right.
I'm not broke. Like, but when you're a kid, you just accept reality and you're like, oh, I'm holding it wrong. So I had to try to learn and I just didn't know how to do it. But when you put it the other way, your body just goes like, yep, this is the right way. So same with pens and pencils and stuff. And I'll tell you, man, I really like hated spiral bound notebooks because you'd almost like constantly be rubbing it against the side. So what I would do is I'd flip them. I almost taught myself to be dyslexic, where I would like flip it and make the back page the front page and go backwards, you know?
Yeah. Are there, I would think this would be a great business idea, or maybe
the Leftorium. Ned Flanders did it, bro.
Oh, is that what he did?
In The Simpsons, Ned Flanders ran the Leftorium. Yeah, it was like a store for left-handed people.
That's so funny. That is true. He did. Yeah. Why is there not a Leftorium? There's enough of you guys out there. It should be like,
you guys, thanks, man. Yeah, appreciate it.
You people.
You people. You broken toys, you. Yeah. It was hard, dude. Like, I mean, I had to get like, they treated me, it was almost like having braces. Like I had to get like one of those little rubber dumb things on the pen.
Yeah.
And pencil that like told me where to hold it. Did you have to use one of those?
Yeah, I remember
that thing. Like because I would hold, like, I think a lot of left-handed people hold the pen weird, but I almost like, it's like how I eat. Like I'm just like, I cover the plate. Like, I don't know, like how I cover the notebook. I'm just like, get away from me, you know? And that's just, I think, because I had to learn to like, I would have to turn the notebook and like write.
Oh yeah, turning the notebook. Yeah, I remember.
Remember, you'd get like in trouble. It was almost like, again, writing was like a driving test for little kids because it's like, God forbid you turn the notebook, and then everyone's like, "What's the matter with you, you weirdo?" Like, and I just like turning the notebook so I didn't have the damn like spiral bound. It was like literally like a non-painful torture all day long in school.
Yeah, interesting.
But yeah, left-handed people. I mean, there's people who now, conversely, left-handers were a rarity, right? At certain things. So like you're more valuable sometimes if you're a baseball player and you throw left-handed. So
catch them off guard.
Parents are starting to like teach their kids early on to like learn to throw lefty and stuff like that. Cause you're always going to motor skill throw righty.
Yeah.
So if you could throw lefty too.
Probably boxing too, or some type of
absolutely hitting, golf, because it is different and your movements are different and whatever. But I'm weird where I can like I write left-handed. I play
And whack
guitar
off
left.
right-handed. So
You
it's like
said it. I didn't. I'm not gonna now, Charles. That's for the Patreon.
Sorry.
So for anybody that wants to subscribe to the Patreon, play guitar lefty. I throw righty. I hit righty. But I can't hold a toothbrush with my right hand. I can't hold a fork with my right hand. Like I have to drink with my, like, it's weird. There's certain stuff that like I just can't. So I'm not ambidextrous. I'm just stupid. You know what I mean? I can't do one thing both ways.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But yeah, being left-handed as a kid sucked because they never had things for left, like, you know, I mean, notebooks and stuff.
Right. That's what I'm saying. You would,
Yeah.
you know, I don't know, but
I'm
yeah,
sure Amazon has a left-handed leftorium.
probably now, but
And
back
just
then,
because you said it, it now happened.
there it
You
is.
can't share. That's a thing I feel kind of crummy about too as getting older, is you can't share ideas with your friends anymore if you're near an electronic device, because then someone makes it before you even Google it.
It's already patent.
That's
right
it.
Now.
That's
it's
it.
done.
There's a new left-handed website that just opened thanks to you, Charles.
Mm-hmm.
So
Well, congrats, and I hope they enjoy their Ferrari.
yeah, really.
I'll be on the A train tomorrow.
Yeah. Name your Ferrari Charles, at least.
It's Valentine's Day, and yeah, man, all the hearts.
Or
Exactly. Broken. Do you remember?
Do you remember
when we fell in love?
What do I remember? Talk to me.
Back in the day, not only, I mean, it was a whole to-do. Valentine's Day back in the day was a whole to-do. And by back in the day, I mean, like, let's keep it fun. Grade school. It was, you know, I'm not...
Prepubescent.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Valentine's Day prepubescent was... Oh, prepubescent, by the way, using that word in a way that's not perverse is like...
I know, it's weird. It's medical. It sounds...
usually when the word prepubescent comes up, there's something's gone awry.
Yes, definitely.
But this time we're actually using the word in a way that's nice.
Before there was the pressure of hooking up.
Before there was just all that stuff. But there was still semi-pressure though, just contained in a very innocent way when it came to the Valentine's Day cards. So back in the day, probably happened in your guys' school, around Valentine's Day, there was always a to-do in like 3rd grade, 2nd grade, whatever, 1st grade, where we would make boxes out of like shoe boxes,
cereal boxes,
yeah, tissue boxes, whatever the case. You wrap it up in like construction paper and put stickers and the glitter or whatever the hell you do, right?
And you Charles, you could tell the self-confidence of the kid based on the size box they used.
Yeah. I mean, there's so many places I could go with that joke.
Bring it.
Pretty big box, kid. Overcompensating much?
Yeah, what are we doing here, huh?
Projecting
have a little raisin box.
Yeah, right. Yeah, okay. That kid drives a Porsche now.
Yeah, totally. That's a tech bro.
But yeah, you would get the box, and the box was to receive the incoming Valentine's Day cards that you're going to be getting from your classmates. Not only the cards, but also Valentine's Day candy back in the day.
Yes.
And I remember, going to the store with my mom, getting the cards, and the cards always represented whatever your thing was at the time. It was a representation of you. You might have got a nice Muppet Babies card, maybe a Transformers, whatever it was, and it was always some cute little, Kermit with a message to Miss Piggy or some type of thing on the inside of the card, right?
Yeah, it was Optimus Prime with like a big heart behind him that says like, "You changed me to a better friend," or something like that. Some silly, goofy thing. Yes, you're right.
Yeah. Though, and go ahead.
Well, I want to ask you what I would do is I'd get those boxes and I could see the boxes. Okay. Like talk about it, just a time warp. It would be a box of mixed greeting cards. Okay.
Yeah.
And it would have all of your favorite Muppet Babies. And it would have 5 Miss Piggy cards, 5 Kermit cards, 5 Fozzie Bear cards, 5 Gonzo cards, 5, like Statler, Waldorf and Statler cards, whatever, right? And what you would do is immediately kind of in your head, you'd go, these are for my friends that are boys.
Right.
These are for my friends that are girls. And that one is for the girl I think is cute.
The girl, exactly.
The girl. So there was you'd get these stacks, but you'd only use one because if you gave her the Miss Piggy and Kermit card that said love is in the air or something, and it used that 4-letter word that holy shit, mom says that to me when I go to bed, and I'm feeling that a little bit about this, cute girl that sits next to me.
Yeah.
That was dude, that was like the NFL draft. You literally would go that card's, yeah, like Sean's getting a Fozzie Bear card, right?
Right.
And
You rank the cards.
Yeah. Yeah. And you'd rank the cards based on your classroom, and then there's, I don't know about you. I had an enemy when I was a kid that we would always beef, and he was always in my class. He never got a card from me.
Ah. Spiteful Mikey.
Yeah. Did you ever? I mean, there were people that didn't give me cards.
You know what?
We didn't have that you had to thing.
Yeah, I can't remember back then. I'm sure there's probably people I skipped. It would have to have been. I don't think I definitely back
We
then.
weren't. That wasn't presentation trophy days.
Yeah. Yeah, it wasn't like it was for. I'm trying to think. I don't think at that point I had any, and certainly later on. Plenty of enemies later on. Yeah, plenty of people didn't get Valentine's Day cards in junior high school. But at that point, it was probably maybe a couple of people that I skipped by. But yeah, you're right. You rank the cards specifically based on this schmuck over here get this card over here.
You get Beaker.
Right. But you, Jamie, she gets, yeah, you're right.
She gets Super Grover.
There you go.
And it was and I would even write more on the people's cards who I liked. The people who I liked didn't like or whatever. It was just M. You know what I mean? Or it would just be just a line. I don't know. I don't know who the hell I thought I was. It was we were all Julius Caesar going like this in elementary school. To the kids that we had to sit next to, every kid went home with that box either full of love or full of mediocre 9 Beaker cards.
Now, did you
It was a lot of pressure.
Was there candy being passed around too?
Yes. So I remember that there were Charms hard red lollipops that had a freaking diamond hard heart.
Yeah.
That if you tried to bite it, it would splinter. It was like biting a vase. You would just shatter into 10 million pieces. I don't know if you remember this lollipop. It sucked.
Literally.
Yeah, literally. And then we would have these little boxes, the little fun size box of conversation hearts that had the weird licorice and peppermint flavored conversation hearts that would say see you next Tuesday or whatever the fuck, and weird other
Is that
things.
what it said?
That's what my brain. That's when we.
Mom, I got a heart that says "See you next Tuesday."
That's what we gave to our teachers. But yeah, no, and there was a lot of that, and then I think the other the other candies, and I was thrilled about this because it was cinnamon. Valentine's Day and cinnamon were always synonymous, so you'd get those cinnamon red hot heart boxes and stuff, and those were always my favorite. What about you?
Yeah, I remember the sweet tarts.
Yeah,
there would be the big sweet tarts that was always kind of Valentine's Day, but then M&M's always had the nice Valentine version. M&M the M&M little small packets. That's who you were king dingling if you were handing out M&Ms.
Damn,
Valentine's
dude.
Day M&Ms.
So
Oh.
you were like a little pimp. You walked into school with bags of candy.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't think that we did that. I think
Yeah.
that we kept that more for like, so wait a minute. Valentine's Day was almost like a Halloween to you.
Yeah, basically.
Not even close.
At school. Oh,
You know?
basically, yeah. Oh, yeah. We
That's
got down.
killer, dude.
Yeah, it will be yes, the special Valentine Day little M&M packets, and then sweet tarts, and then I'm trying to remember any other ones, but it always had, little hearts on them or whatever the Valentine version of those candies were back in
Of
the day.
course. Yeah, and also the M&Ms were red, pink, and white.
Mm-hmm.
You remember those?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Yeah, good times.
Well, let me ask you this.
Oh, my mom would bake a cake.
What?
Yeah, my mom would bake a cake because sometimes we would or was it might have been brownie. Yeah, cake or no, she would bake a cake because sometimes we would have a party. It would be like a Valentine's party in class. So like sometimes parents might bring something extra or
Yeah.
whatever. So like my
Cupcakes.
mom would bake. This really made me king dingling. She would ask me what kind of cake I wanted, and usually it was either a lemon, because I was a fan of lemon cake, and she would put like a chocolate icing on top, or she would bake a chocolate cake, or she would bake brownies.
God
But
damn.
she would put little heart candies or whatever on top of the thing. Yeah, I was king dingling.
Heart-shaped red number 3.
Yeah.
Wow, dude, that's killer, and I'm jealous because I don't think that we would do cupcakes, we would do whatever, yeah, for sure. I don't think that my school went that all out. I mean, I think we had the obligatory, like, bring cards,
Mm-hmm.
But there was always that one special someone. There was always that one girl that, like, I had early crushes,
Me too.
early crushes. And I remember being like, I want to bring her a card. I want to bring her flowers. And my mom's like, you're not bringing flowers. Like, what the hell's
Easy,
wrong with
cowboy.
you? Yeah, take it easy. But once it got to like, middle school, high school, when you started to have a girlfriend or your steady little, special someone,
Mm-hmm.
that's where romantic Mike really shined. And it was like, oh, maybe we could go on a date. I was always in a rush to grow up. You know what I mean? Like, I wanted to take my 7th grade or 8th grade girlfriend to like a nice Italian restaurant and dinner and, like whatever, and like rent a limo. Not that we did,
Right.
but you know what I mean? Like just these, and what did I end up doing was like, I don't know, made her like a shitty mixtape or like I would like draw a card or something like that. You know what my version, Charles, of like, we talked about the notes that we got, but the notes that we would give.
Mm-hmm.
You want to know what my stupid, and I'm like batting 0 for, like, I'm at the bottom of the lineup for this. My version of the bubbly heart, like I dotting or whatever, was I would try to write in block letters.
Oh.
And I would never, ever, ever be able to gauge how much space I had on the paper. So it would say like happy, and then it would have to go Valentine. Like I think right down the side of the
Ooh, didn't clear the dismount on that one.
I never stuck the landing, dude, when I would do that. I totally screwed up every single time.
That's funny.
I still do it. Like I tried to do that like on my like niece's birthday card or whatever, and it just like the A and the Y in birthday are just like falling off a cliff.
She's like, Uncle Mike, what are you doing here?
Yeah, she's like, dude, just Venmo me cash, you idiot. What the hell are you doing, dude? I don't even want to read this card.
Oh man. Oh man.
But like, so when you got into like the high school days and stuff, when it now post-pubescent, right? Is that what it's even weirder?
I think so. I don't know.
Yeah. Dingaling, King Dingaling over here. How was that? How was approaching your crush in like high school, or like, was there anticipation? Was there like, did you have a steady girl that you had to go buy gifts for, jewelry? Like,
yeah. Well, we talked about this a little bit. Freaking
Bath and Body Works.
Bath and Body Works. So if I had a girlfriend, is probably beelined it to Bath and Body Works. There was a particular time, I think this might have been Valentine's Day. It was Valentine's Day. So you want to talk romantic Charlie. Here we go.
Romantic Charlie.
I got one for you. So at my parents' house, there's they turned the back, what was the back patio, outdoor patio, they converted it to an indoor space, right?
Yeah, like a second living room kind
Like
of.
a second living room, which now is where when you see me back home, which is where my quote unquote studio is back home, when I do videos or whatever. So, but at that time, they had just converted it, and it was just a open indoor space. There was nothing, there was no furniture, there was just carpet, and they hadn't furnished it yet or put a bunch of other stuff in there yet. So, my aunt, who is a great cook, I mean, a lot of great cooks in my family, but she specifically, she owned a catering company back then.
Wow.
So, what I did was, not only did she own a catering company, first of all, my family is full of like small business, like everybody just owned a bunch of shit and did a bunch of shit. So she had her own catering company, and she did like wedding planning and all that kind of stuff. So she decorated for me, or helped me decorate that backspace, and made it into like a little oasis, if you will, a little like Michelin star dining setup, right?
Yeah.
So it looked pretty sweet. I told my parents to get lost, right? By get lost, I mean they were in their bedroom and they just knew not to come downstairs.
Yeah. Get lost.
My girlfriend at the time, she came over, whatever, had the fireplace going. Fireplace in the living room, right?
Charles.
Buffalo, man, won't you come home tonight? Won't you come home
out
tonight?
Won't you come out? George lassos the moon.
Lassos the moon, baby. And my aunt, who, shout out to my aunt Sabrina, she was there in her chef's
I can't even fucking
get up, in her attire, right? And welcomes my then girlfriend, into the establishment, right? Leads her into the
trattoria.
The trattoria, where of course I'm waiting. And then proceeds to serve us. I forget what was on the menu, whatever fine dining thing that she had pre-planned. It was like an app, and then a main course, and then a dessert.
I can't even believe this shit.
With the candles and the whole thing, right? It was a whole thing.
Music's playing, obviously. Music's playing.
Yeah, of course. Music's playing. We're whatever. And then I had like a little, gift. I think it was like a little necklace I had gotten her or whatever. And yeah, it was a whole. Listen. Your boy. Your boy did it up.
I'm blown away. What grade was this?
This might have been early high school. This might have been high school. 15. This might have been like a 15.
Sophomore year.
Sophomore, junior. This might have been sophomore, juniors. Yeah, it might have been junior, because I think she drove herself over there and she had like a license or whatever. This might have been like junior year.
How did it go?
The relationship? I mean, well, clearly, clearly that didn't last. But no, the night was great. Obviously, we didn't my parents upstairs, we didn't bang the night away that night. But she was swept off her feet
that night.
Yeah, no, it was great. She was like over the moon. I did good. Your boy did good.
I'm so proud of you, buddy.
Yeah.
Isn't it nice when you're a young guy and you think of something romantic and sweet to do for a chick that you like, and you're like, you get those butterflies and you get to like go through the whole planning process, and you're like, oh, I'm going to make this, I'm going to do that, I'm going to do this. That is so fun to do.
Bro, before, this whole idea of alpha versus beta, simps, and all this kind of goofy shit that's in like the lexicon now, before the Andrew Tates of the world took over, like, it was actually fun to be romantic and see to a girl you liked, and she liked you, and it was like it was a whole thing.
I still love doing it, dude. I mean, I think it's kind of nice to like, go back in time a little bit and go like, let's just be kids and let me like treat you to like something amazing. I did something not as, holy shit, dude. Aunt Sabrina.
Yo, shout out to Auntie Brina.
Auntie Brie. My God. I didn't have an Auntie Brie. And I didn't have a fireplace. And
The fire was burning in your soul, Michael.
It still is, man. It's smoldering right now. I got to take a Pepsid. I went to my girlfriend's house and we set up the basement at like a little table and I made dinner and it was like pretty shitty. The thought was there, but the execution, I didn't have an Aunt Sabrina. I had to be Sabrina.
You had to be Sabrina.
I made salad and I made ziti and I made chicken parm. And by the time she got home from practice, I remember she had cheerleading something. There was like a cheerleading event. She used to do competitions or something like that on the weekends. And but when she got home, I was waiting. I got flowers, dude, and like put them down the steps to like the
There we go.
She liked Dave Matthews a ton, who didn't freaking, so that was playing. And I had gifts for her and a card that had like, just like a poem or some shit I wrote. But the dinner was like getting cold. And I remember being mad because she was like late to getting home. And I'm like, the fucking dinner's going to get cold. Like, it's so funny when it's like, I'd get in my own head about like, it's not going to be perfect.
It's not going to be perfect.
I don't put myself in the mindset of like a young girl who's like, oh my God, this guy made me dinner, like whatever, how sweet. And even if she like pretends to eat it and whatever, like, but I'm like, this could have been perfect, but you're late. Like,
right.
Don't, quit cheerleading and what, you know what I mean? Like all this dumb, like I just ruined it with my like Italian idiot fucking mindset, but it was beautiful and fun and blah, blah, blah. But I like doing that stuff. I was always like, I used to be very romantic when I was like, when it mattered.
Yeah, same.
What month anniversary you were, you'd get like 2 roses for 2 months, 3 roses for 3 months, shit like that,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I cared a little too much.
No, I don't think you can care too much. I think as we learn, as we get older, to be more specific about who you give that energy towards.
Yes.
Because back when it took nothing for me to fall head over heels and
madly in love. She looked at me long enough. I was like,
yo, forget it. You sneezed in my direction. I'm like, yo, she is
like, you like me?
She's the girl of my dreams. Like, she had to do nothing, just be cute. And I was like, yo, she is sent from the gods to me.
Sent from the gods. That's right. Aunt Sabrina, preheat that oven. I will tell you this. Was there any worse feeling than misjudging and thinking that you were getting some reciprocity?
Oh, God.
And then she goes, I just value our friendship so much that I don't think that I don't want to ruin it. And I'm like, yo, we're 15. Let's ruin it. What are you talking about? I'm in love with you.
This is, you're ruining the friendship as we speak.
The friendship ended when you said, eh. And I just, dude, getting the, even back then, dude.
Rejection is brutal.
You know what? Let's put a pin in this. This is we could go. We should keep going. And next week, maybe we'll, this could be our first 2-parter.
Yeah. I'm with
What do you think?
Let's do it.
All right, everybody, show up next week and we will continue this conversation about young Charles and young Mike and their romantic endeavors. Gross.
Stay young.